So SPY today was, let's look here at, I'll show you my guidance. Of course, I'm on the voice, so I can't really show you all that. So there was the initial move on the SPY today. Let's look at the pre-market plan on SPY. So the pre-market plan on SPY was VIX 1840 key. If VIX breaks 1840, we long over the after hour highs for SPY QQQ. Watch out for 18 and 1840 levels for VIX. Watch out the amateur move and 10 a.m. concept. So that was the plan, right? So that was the plan. I was on the voice in the pre-market. That's the plan I gave everyone in the community. And now let's see here. You see that the first candle was amateur candle. First candle is always an amateur candle. So the thing here was after that amateur breakout. So I did tell the traders it's an amateur long breakout. But when it pulled back, right? So we were long right at the open, but you have to watch this amateur candle. The long as per our planning was this breakout, right? What did I mention here? Over the after hour highs, right? So you see that. So that's our after hour highs, and that's over that is where we're gonna go long and clear levels, right? So the bias is clear, the planning is clear. Only thing I saw a few traders struggling today was they longed first 10 minutes, and when they got that amateur red candle, they kind of panicked and they did not enter again. But this is what you need to understand. This can happen, right? Because you should not forget what VIX was doing for these past few days. Every day I'm talking about 19, 19, 19. Yesterday we broke 19. Today it was all about 18, 20. Right, so it was all about this 18, 20, 18, 40 level. So once that level was gone, you know it's a bullish trend day. You know that's why you have to long. Not only that, XLF, the finance, was weak in the morning. I said when XLF bounces, you will get an all-day trend. I told that in the morning. I tweeted about that as well. You know, so anyways, we were long right at the open. We pulled back the amateur candle. So I told the traders do not long if it breaks the 3450. So I avoided these longs, but the long came here right when we broke out over the after hour highs. You know, that was our flag breakout long. You can see that 1020 trend holding trend longs. I told the traders hold as long as 512 holds. You do not have to cut it. As long as the 512s hold, you hold it. So either you are trading Nasdaq futures, you are trading leverage ETFs, or you're trading SPY futures. Whatever you are trading, it was an all day trend today. You can see that same setup on Nasdaq futures. Then you just had to hold it and let it work for you all day. And this in return helped many other players to work for us as well. We will look at individual names. We'll look at the sector analysis, because the most important thing today was sector analysis, which I teach every day. What sector is strongest? You know, that's how we found our longs in Nvidias, in coin, in MSTR, because there were three sectors. You know, we do this sector analysis live. I try to tweet it out as well. I did tweet out that semiconductors are the strongest, right? So we do the sector analysis. We know the market is strong, market is bullish, VIX is weak, market making higher lows, higher highs. You long here, you long here, you long 10 flag breakout. You know, I mentioned these flag breakouts. You could long at 11 a.m. Doesn't really matter, right? So there was all the times to go long on SPY, QQQ, Nasdaq futures with the Ripster clouds. And then you need to know what are the strongest sectors, and that's what I'm going to show you, how we long those strongest sectors. So let's start with the Nvidia, right? So semi strong. Of course, we know that semi strong. You always need to have a watch list here of your strongest. You just need your sector watch lists. I use bunch of stuff to analyze the market. I'm like analyzing hundreds of tickers, 10, 20 sectors at the open. I'm doing everything pretty fast. So let's go back, see what was the plan on Nvidia here. The plan on Nvidia, Citi gives a buy rating at tier 1 analyst. Bullish bias if semi strong. So clearly see what I said. I even said that if the semiconductor sector is strong, we will have a bullish bias on Nvidia. And what happened was, I saw that, you know, I could, even my line charts told me that the semiconductor is one of the strongest sector. I teach you to build it in my community. You can watch it. It's easy to build. But anyway, so when I saw the strength on Nvidia, I gave the long to the community. And anyways, the thousands of traders in the community, there are so many smart folks. They were already long. They were already long that. But as you see my pre-market planning, pretty clear here on the pre-market planning. What was the plan was to long bullish bias 137.60, 139. So once you see this breaking out the 139, you take it long and your risk is $1. That's why I said flag break versus 138, and I even mentioned that semiconductors are strong, and that's it, right? You could manage your trade from there on. As long as 512 holds, you hold. We continue to move our stops up to 139. We moved the stops to 140, and when it broke 512, we were out. So you long 139, you get out 141. Pretty good trade, pretty nice trade. You risk $1. You're making $2.50. That's a good risk reward trade, 1 hour to 2.5 hour reward. So that was Nvidia. Not only Nvidia was strong, there were some other names in the market sectors which were strong too. Let's take a look here. So solar, right? Solar was very strong in the morning. Maybe it is because of the Republicans bill. I don't know. Whatever it was, the solars were strong. I saw the strength in solar. You see that I mentioned that solar is strong. Solar sector, again, you have to do the sector analysis. You can go to Finviz, you can go to Finviz a heat map. You can do exchange traded ETFs. You can see what sector is strong. You can trade the stocks. But as I know, FSLR is one of the top stocks. Either I see one stock strong in a sector, then I look at the sector. So see, First Solar was strong. So that's why I gave a long on First Solar versus 150. Right here, 949. No BIS, no hindsight. You can see where I'm giving the longs, where I'm finding those strong strength sectors, and you get a strong right here. This was a long flag breakout, all day hold it, just with the 512 clouds. And from that long, even at 950, it gave you like $6, right? So that was a trade. First Solar, there was a First Solar when we had ENPH, but you just need to find the top trade in that sector. ENPH was good. Thousands of traders, many traders were trading ENPH in community, and they were trading First Solar. So you can see that how traders are trading ENPH. We are trading First Solar. Micah is trading First Solar. DJ is trading First Solar. Nate, everybody, right? So it's about finding those strong sectors, high probability trades. We are not interested in trading something else which is weak. Okay, let's look at some other sector now. Another sector that's strong was Bitcoin. I saw it strong in the morning. We track Bitcoin every day. So you long coin. This is your MTF 1 hour breakout, and we give these levels in the pre-market. We provide all the coin and MSTR, all those levels we provide in the pre-market. In our daily sheet, we let me show you, if I can show you the coin and levels that we provided. Let me see here. So we provide all those levels. All right, so there you can see the levels we gave for the coin, 250, 251 breakout, MSTR 379, 381.30, and we also had MSTR detailed plan in our pre-market as well. We usually split our pre-market planning into an earnings play, into a news play, into an upgrade, downgrade, index stocks, and I prepare it like half an hour before on the voice and on the live screen, because I'm on live share all day. So that's what we do. So you see that, where was it? So we had MSTR, bullish bias, no long under 34.50. So a lot of traders were already long MSTR in the community. They were like, long, and we watch the flow, right? We have like 3, 4 free option flow scanners. We have stocks scanners. We have breaking news alerts. I mean, we have tools like, we're worth $500, $600, which are free in our community. So the traders were already long on MSTR, but I like the long when we broke this MTF right here. I did tell them to long because we already had planned it, because this flag was breaking, but you could long here at 381.50s. You see the time, 10 a.m., and that's when we are trying to break the flag. You use a stop 378, so you are using like couple of dollars or $3 risk, and you're making $7, $8. So that was the trade here. This was the MTF break long. This was the stop guidance, and that was a beautiful trade. So again, I just showed you the strength in the sectors: Bitcoin, solar. So all those sectors were super duper strong, and it was not just Nvidia. You could trade the whole sector. You could trade ARM, AVGO. We have all these tickers every day on our daily plan, so you could literally pick up any ticker to trade in the sector. Hood was another one which was an amazing trade. Bitcoin sector, again another one from our game plan. Not all time high chart, that was typo. It's a 52-week high chart. Bullish bias, no longer 512, so even Hood ran because this is the flag right here, you long it. And again, the semiconductor, the whole list was super duper strong. And this is where our biggest trade of the day comes in. That was a core weave. So let's look at core weave here. So core weave was also a day 2 day 3 plan. Trying to go here fast here. Bullish bias, what was the plan? Core weave, bullish bias to long over 125, cautious if 512 breaks. That was the plan, bullish bias, right? So looking at the core weave, and by the way, we only had 13% people read in the community today because of such a good day. And these are the days where you make profits. You see only like 14% people read, and we have like almost 1700 people live in the community on the voice every day. But anyway, so core weave was the plan. You have to keep everything on plan, just like TEM was yesterday. Core weave was today. It's an IPO. I have been talking about it since 53 bucks, that this is an IPO. I had posted the chart about core weave that's not done squeezing. So you see, I have been talking about core weave since long time. Swing traders friend, this was the breakout setup I alerted. That was at 53. And we've been trading it every day. We know the core weave personality, right? So this was when I gave that idea that it's going to break out, and even for the swing trade. And you see, every day we are killing it. Every day we are nailing core weave. Why is that? Because we know the personality. It's an IPO. It has a low float. It has gamma squeeze potential. It has short squeeze potential. This is how the low floats. This is how the IPOs move. That's why you should never ever underestimate. This has been our best trade for last 1.5 months, and I have continuously guided on core weave that how much good this setup is. That, so you just need to know the personalities. I just was going to show you where I explicitly talked about that. Do not underestimate. There you go. It's not done squeezing yet. Do not underestimate these new IPOs. So you need to know the personalities. Anyways, the core weave strong, a semiconductor strong, the sector was strong. So I gave the long right away, 126, bullish move. This was our pre-market planning here on core weave. So the planning right here, bullish bias long over 125. So I clearly told the traders to long over 125. So as soon as the 125 broke out, I knew it's a long. I trade the traders long, risk versus 126, 125. You take it long. Our targets were 135. Next targets I gave were 138, 140. We met all those targets, and our final target was 145. We did stop out once when it broke down here. You see that we stopped out, but then what happened was it reclaimed. This is called the concept of reclaim. You can enter again. So I said reclaim again versus 140. So you mean you can buy it again at 142 versus 140, and then we hit our 145 target, we hit our 150. It's still squeezing, right? I told the traders not to hold a huge position after hours, just to hold a small position because it's a gamma squeezing. But insane, life-changing trade. You could literally make a month with these kind of trades on core weave. No hindsight, no BS, everything just like I show you on Twitter X. I try to guide my traders live in the community as well. Everybody just killed it on core weave. You can see that Fahad is holding core weave, Crowfish, G-Man, D-Trades. The whole community is just killing it on core weave. Very proud of this one. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to quickly look at is Tesla. I'm going to try to go fast here to see if I can wrap up within 20 minutes. So Tesla, what was the plan on Tesla? Let's go to our game plan here. So the Tesla plan this morning was trade versus 1 hour MTF, watch the amateur move. Clear plan, clear levels, clear news, everything planned in the pre-market. I was not interested until we started to break out here. You see, my long idea came at 11 a.m. even though a lot of traders were long already. So I said long versus, I was on voice, I said you can long it Of course, why? Because market is strong, SPY is running, QQQ is running. This is why it is an A plus long. So I gave the stops of 348 as we started to move up. I gave the stops of 349. We continued to push. Then comes Elon Musk. He says something. He says he just mad at the bill. And so it's all politics, and that didn't, investors panicked and they sold. We exited because Ripster Clouds tell us we have to exit right here. We exit. We had MTF long, we exit 353. We made our money. A lot of traders were short on Tesla. I told them you can short it, but make sure you have your stops over previous this candle. Your target's over 3450. Then your target is also 1 hour MTF clouds. I also tweeted about it that we are no longer long. So hopefully you guys also shorted it or did whatever, manage your longs as well. But so you can see that how the Ripster EMA Cloud is giving us high probability trades, right? Mikshu did pretty good on Tesla. A lot of traders were just traded all ways. The traders literally traded, literally traded 3 trades on Tesla: long, short, and then long for a C minus long. I don't like this setup, long here, but still, right? So with the setup, you don't just trade randomly, just wake up and you like something. You just have to have a setup. So that was Tesla. All right, just to quickly go through the earning plays. So every day, earnings season, the best season for the traders to make profits in the market, keeping losers small, winners big. So let's look at the earning plays. Where we have 3 earning plays: CRDO, DG, Signet. So the main one was Dollar General. The bullish bias, cautious of the gap and crap. That was the pre-market planning. So let's see what Dollar General did once, so let's see here. So right away, I gave the long on Dollar General versus 106. That was my guidance to the traders. And from that 106 long, you can see that 933 by 10 a.m. we hit 112, right? Even if you got 18, 109, that was a decent long trade. Now it pulls back. Do you exit? No, you wait because it's not breaking under the 512s. Then you see this curl right here, and this is what I mentioned, that 512 bounce. I told the traders you close under 512, but it never really, you have to see this. This was the previous resistance, became new support, so you hold it. The 512 bounce gave you another long, took it all the way back to highs. Beautiful winner in the community. All right, so let's look at HIMS. So HIMS was a loser in the community today. But the good thing about the Ripster EMA Cloud is we can manage the risk. One problem with the HIMS was that it started to run in the pre-market and spoiled our setup. But the planning on HIMS was pretty simple. Bullish bias, cautious if 512 breaks. I gave the long at 62, but at right had a big rejection. I mean, we were profitable. A lot of traders got out with a profit, but just to be sincere in our planning, we are not looking for small scalps, so we call it as loser guidance. So you see that as it pushed over, our target was 68. I gave the longs at the open. We did push it around close to 67.37 from 63.64. We were at profitable $3-4, but then suddenly it came down. We had the stops I gave was 62. As soon as the 62 broke, we stepped away. There was no long after that. A lot of traders shorted it. A lot of traders were asking me, hey Rip, can we long it? Can we long it? I told them you don't really have to long it because it's under the 512 clouds, it's under the 3450 clouds, and it's breaking down. And bear flag, break flag. Even this bounce, it was a bad curl. That was not a good curl. It was a bearish all day. You need to understand when something falls so violently, there's so many bags in it. It's not an easy bounce all the time. So you have to understand a lot of these things, a lot of the personalities. You have to start to read the candles and the volumes. You see that all day I never told the traders to long HIMS. Never told the traders to long HIMS. Some traders tried to correlate, but it failed because it was bouncing off this support. I did tell them there's a support to cover your short, but there was no long. So that's why you preserve. All right, look at some of other plays here. We had CRDO, which was our earning long. Let's look at the CRDO guidance. So CRDO was long versus 70, gap and crap under. I gave that. I try to guide the plays which I think will work for the community. So CRD was good. Pushed at the open. from the long, but pulled back, pushed, double topped at 80 and sold all the way, right? So there was a bunch of other plays. Let's look at CEG. So CEG was a gap and crap. CEG had a big news. So I always highlight the big plays. Not only CEG, most of the nuclear was a gap and grab. So CEG was an all-time high chart, bullish to neutral bias. We would have longed it if CEG held this level, but I told the traders it's a gap and crap. I was on the voice, so you see this a little delayed guidance, but I was on the voice when I told them to gap and crap right at the open. The puts went like 300-400% illiquid, but you don't really need too much. You can see my guidance, right? Fibonacci levels, you can draw those levels to trade those gap and crap. If you want to look at what the traders in the community were doing, they were really, see, Nityananda got 100%, Shankar got 90%. So all this is repeatable setups, guys. We never do that random trades, and hopefully you guys learned something how we trade. Hopefully you learned a few concepts. If this video works out, I'm going to put more direct to X content. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.